You want to understand why the black women can't be in their feminine energy? It's not because of niggas like him. It's because of niggas like y'all. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video that's circulating IG and TikTok where there's this guy that is literally going off on these black women because he reached out to touch one of the friends and she wouldn't let him. So he's literally standing there calling them nigga in front of all these people, including these 3 black men that's sitting here. How dare you sit there and allow this shit to happen? All 3 of y'all had to do was stand up. 3 of y'all wouldn't have even had to open y'all mouth because when he saw 3 black men stand up, he would have backed the up. I don't give a damn if you are gay or straight. There is no reason why any male should stand back, allow another man to berate a female, call her out her name, make her feel less than, and you sit your ass on the sidelines like you ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not gonna touch it. That ain't for me. It is so difficult not to be in our feminine energy because we know if something pops off, 9 times out of 10, we gotta stand up and be the man. I'm a female, and had I been in that situation, ain't no way in hell he would have been going off on her like that because I would have been all in his face. Why do y'all do that?
Okay, first off, let's get the first elephant in the room out of the way. There is nobody that should be acting this way towards anybody in public whatsoever. However, this isn't a new situation, right? We've seen this happen many times before in the past. And no matter what it was, if it was the brick lady, and then we found out that story was made up, they were complaining about how black men weren't defending her, or the last lady was at the restaurant and she was talking back and kept on escalating the situation, and then that happened. There's been plenty of situations, man. That brick lady situation, every time I think about it, I always remember just how many, because this was so shocking to me, how many chicks really believe that men are obligated, and specifically we're talking about black men here, are obligated to protect black women. And all I kept on thinking about while listening to her and a bunch of black women who shared the same sentiment, and in this video, it's almost a step further. She's saying, hey, you want to know why we can't be feminine? You want to know why we can't be in our softness? It's because of you. All I could think about is, are these the same women who go on podcasts and shame men who embrace their masculine energy? Are these the same women who say that there's nothing a man can bring to the table that could make them feel comfortable with splitting bills?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Right? And that includes his physical protection. Are these the same women who constantly try to justify pushing an agenda to feminize men, make them sus? And you listen to what she said there. She said, hey, I don't care if you're gay or not. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That kind of does matter. Like, let's not act like that doesn't play into this testosterone in a man and his motivation to stand up and fight. A man has to be tapped into that side in himself. I'm not saying that there aren't men who are gay out here who aren't able to defend themselves and the people that they love. That's not what I'm saying. But she tried to add in that whole, I don't care if you're gay, because if I'm looking at this situation, let me pause it. He looks gay, right? This dude right here, and this, I'm not trying to be effed up, bro. I'm just keeping it real. Tell me, am I tripping? Because I don't think I am. And this guy looks gay. This looks like a gay event, right? This looks like you're hanging out with a bunch of gay dudes. And I found out later on that this man is a cosmetologist. And I think that this is how little I know about that. I'm going to go ask our AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee, right now. I don't know what a cosmetologist is. I'm assuming it has to do with makeup or something like that, but I may be wrong. Miss Coffee, what does a cosmetologist do? Please.
Oh, hon, a cosmetologist? That's your beauty Swiss Army knife, okay? Let me tell you what they do. And they do a lot. At the heart of it, a cosmetologist is a licensed beauty professional trained to work magic on hair, skin, and nails. Think of them as part artist, part therapist, and part scientist. Because they know how to make you look good, why it works, and they'll probably talk you through your whole life story while doing it. Here's the breakdown. 1. Hair hustler.
Oh my goodness. This is like the second time my wife has called me during one of these recording sessions. Give me a second, man. Give me a second. All right, guys, I am back. Let's keep listening here. I know this happened. This has happened a few times. I told you guys my wife's birthday's coming up, and so we're looking forward to that. Where were we at? Miss Coffee, right? She was talking. Let's listen.
You name it. They know how to work with all textures, from 1A to 4 Celsiuses.
Okay. So basically what I was trying to say is there's something incredibly ironic with encouraging fluidity amongst young black men. You see, they love to emasculate these men in Hollywood. Even on podcasts, we just listened to Tracy Ellis Ross talk about how she prefers dating younger men because younger men are more fluid. Like, what are we talking about? But you still want him to somehow stand up in a time where he's supposed to embrace his masculinity as a man for you when you're not his woman. It's just something off about that. As always, we're going to check out some of these comments to see what the people have to say. Top comment here says his name is Manny Barajas in San Diego. He's a cosmetologist. Okay, so here's where I actually saw the cosmetology thing. Somebody else here says they don't like us. They like each other. So they're here calling men gay. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You're calling men gay. And why is it that and maybe are gay men okay with gay being an insult for black men every time they don't jump, every time a black woman tells a black man to jump? This woman responded back and said, sad, I agree. They have a black mama. They don't have to have attraction to a person to do what's right. I bet he wouldn't allow derogatory words to a Latin/Hispanic woman. Again, no one should be using any type of derogatory words towards each other. But my question is this, and this is the final question I have here before we read a few more comments and we look a bit deeper into this whole situation. So let's step into the world of men today are obligated to step in and protect black women, no matter how she acts towards black men, right? She's not obligated to even smile at a man. And I remember my last video, somebody was like, yeah, man, why do you expect women to smile at them? I don't. The whole point of that point is if women expect men to do anything in any capacity today, then there should be something that men should expect women to do. Otherwise, women are somehow being treated as not as equal to men. And the catch here is that women today, modern women, claim that they are equal. Let's step into the world of these women who agree with what this lady here was talking about. Let's say that a young man is supposed to protect any woman he sees in this type of a situation. My question would be, who's supposed to teach him that? I want you to really think about that question for a second before you ask. Who's supposed to teach him that? Because we don't learn as humans very well from just somebody orally teaching us, right? Someone who's using their words to teach us how we're supposed to act in society. We behold, and then we go out from what we see, we go out and act based on what we saw. And my point is this. To a lot of these men, because women out here defend single motherhood, single mom by choice, broken homes, are quick to break one to protect their peace, they grow up in households where they don't see a man who's taking that spot as the protector and masculine role model. They see a woman. Do you disagree? I know for most men, it is in their nature to want to protect women, but you can oppress that nature. And I think one of the ways it's oppressed highly within the black community is they grow up not viewing their mother as this soft, innocent lady. They view her as the protector of the household. Some of them will even tell you that. And then what will happen? Well, they'll go out into the world and see these women who claim like, I don't need you for this. I don't need you. I got my own, blah, 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 blah. We just had the conversation about degrees with women who were talking down on men because they didn't have degrees, black men, because they weren't as educated. But you know, the catch is, you know what doesn't take a 4-year degree to know how to fight or to be willing to fight. We're going to read a few more comments here. This person here says, we are the most unprotected ever. Well, if you had a husband and you weren't too picky about the type of man you would pick, then you would be protected, and that man should protect you. Somebody else here says they know black men hate us. Really? I don't know. I see men who are married to black women, like myself, who also share this sentiment. Somebody else here says because they like him, and so they're saying they like the dude, so they're here calling men gay, so on and so forth. This commenter here says they hate us, so they won't defend us. They're secretly in competition with us. This person here says 3 black queens just sitting there. All right, let's check out the next video here.
And I don't need a provider. I provide myself with everything that I need. And I'm not talking about tangible items here. I don't need you to provide your company because I do not feel lonely. I do not need you to provide security because I feel safe within myself. I do not need you to provide your love because I love myself. I do not need you to provide encouragement because I can encourage myself. Think about all the witches being burned, y'all. They were all women. They were
okay. So this chick is out of her mind. Let's just get that out of the way. But guys, like, this is not an extreme video. What do I mean? Okay, there's her, and then there's millions of other videos that you've seen of chicks who say things like, yo, I have everything I need. I don't need a man. I'm happy being single. And they'll talk down on men continuously. Do you not think that that type of rhetoric has an effect on the men who hear it? And there are people who want men to act like this isn't happening. They want us to say, regardless of what women do, right, we're going to step up. Let women act any which way they choose to. Modern women here, because there are good women out here who are definitely protected. Yes. Married. Yes. But regardless, then you shouldn't call that out as a man. That's ridiculous. Are they children or are they grown women? Here's a bit more context to this situation.
Already know who he is, so stick around for that. Meanwhile, Oaklawn, Dallas-Fort Worth, a lesbian couple and some friends of theirs are out to grab some tacos. A random man came up behind us, initially friendly, and engaged us in conversation. We responded accordingly, talking back and laughing. However, he then attempted to grab my friend from behind. She said, "Whoa." He immediately became defensive because she didn't want him touching her and in her personal space. He said he's in the mafia and we needed to watch out. It's essential to acknowledge that touching strangers without their consent is unacceptable, and becoming this offended when they decline is unwarranted. Her girlfriend intervened, telling him to chill out. The situation escalated literally because he didn't think he should have to respect personal boundaries. And by
So the dude has a girlfriend? Didn't see that one coming. Is this the same story? Okay, so this guy's covering this. He's covering the topic we're talking about right now. You guys may be wondering, Shisha, who is this dude? He's somebody who, and just to give you a forewarning, he talks about men being predators all the time and, exposing men. So just brace yourself.
escalated, they mean he drops the N-bomb on them multiple times.
The truth is, if he knew that he would get checked, he wouldn't have gone this far. And the conversation here isn't about should this man be checked. The conversation I want to have is why are Black men in general getting blamed? And how can you get men to want to protect you? Maybe having a man is a good place to start, especially today.
He's upset because he's misled. Is that man bothering you? Yes. So sorry. He totally hard-R'd you earlier.
Something that stood out, it was weird to me that he said, "You'll always be a man." I was like, is anyone in your group a trans woman? And she goes, no, one has some masculine features, but we're all cis-born women. And he felt that that was the appropriate response because they didn't want to be touched. Now, I reached out to her because I saw her video. And then as she was like writing that story to me, I was doing digging. And around the time she finished writing me that story, I sent her this and said, look familiar? Also,
I'm sorry. this man has to be bi or something close to that.
Just as an added thing, more than just the face. You may notice this like tribal tattoo on his ribs here. And what's that peeking out right there? Funny thing is, they had uploaded their video and then it got taken down by TikTok. But it must have gotten to some people who know him because he had already deleted his Instagram. But you forgot about that TikTok. Or maybe you just thought no one would find it, despite the fact it has the same username as your Instagram. Oh, and then there's that Twitter account that you don't seem too active on these days, but that is where I got that picture. And even though you deleted that Instagram, it still comes up in searches, and your Instagram just happened to have your full name on it. Isn't that right, Manny Barajas, newly licensed cosmetologist? At least you were newly licensed when you set up this LinkedIn. I'm wondering, do you still work here at this place in San Diego? Is that still your employer, or have you moved on from that job because you're just so charming and engaging? You know, Manny, I'm not sure why the black men who were sitting there were comfortable with you using that language and speaking that way toward.
Oh, man.
Black women. But you're going to find that that is not a common trend, that the majority of society thinks what you did was vile and disgusting.
I mean, I think what he did was vile and disgusting. But I'm always just, the dudes with the pages where they'll do like the super pandering and the, play that role of I'm different from the rest and the race baiting and all that. Come on, man. We already know what these comments are going to go. By the way, this man, if he does this to the right person, he will get checked, right? There will be consequences to play for this behavior. But if I'm a man today and I'm raising up daughters, the conversation I'm going to have with them isn't black men are obligated and should protect you, is, hey, make sure you get a husband because you need that. I mean, on top of myself, right? But dad won't always be there. But you have me till I die. But after I'm gone, I'm hoping that you have a man out here to protect you. She'll have brothers, so on and so forth. I mean, I'm one in right now. And you build those relationships within a home. And that's taught within a household. You can't leave it to people out here in this modern day where they're trying to dismantle the patriarchy. The patriarchy is what set up that protection for women in general. The patriarchy would have said, hey, that's a lady. Why are you talking to a lady like that? See, that sounds good right now in this situation. But the patriarchy also had certain expectations from women. But no, we don't like that. We don't like the expectations from women, but we like the expectations from a man. So in the end, this is why my resolution, my conclusion is save yourself, raise up your family. Your family should protect each other. In the end, you're not obligated to go around risking your life for everything and everybody out here. I said it. Top comment here says his other account, TikTok account is Manuel2801. Okay. You see, the fact that the black men are not stepping in bothers me. Okay. Let's identify them. Oh, so now they want to go after the black men who are sitting there. They definitely look gay to me. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm wrong. But I can't be the only one that thought that. This says, agree, they need speaking to. This person here says, identify them, the bystanders. Get over yourself. Not everyone has to intervene. Yeah. I always go to I end at the same place. Like, what is something of the equivalent when you come to even giving up a chair? Like, you have the videos of the chicks in the subways who are like, look at us in the subway, and all these men are sitting down, they won't give up their chair. I'm like, name me one thing that modern women today, because it's supposed to be equal, right? Like, let's have a real conversation about what's actually going on here. Name me one thing that's of the equivalent of just that itself. Sure, men aren't expecting you to fight. Some of them will. Some of them are completely in their masculine energy. Here's somebody else who says, the fact that a table full of black men let him get that off is insane, so on and so forth. Wow. Brothers, what we doing? Laughing. Not one stood up. Wow. So there's that. And last but not least, I know that there are men who would intervene out here. They are. But I wouldn't go around with the type of situation we're in as black people. I wouldn't go around just looking at a black man and thinking, why aren't you stepping in? Right? Times have changed. Do you need a man or do you not? Leave your comments down below. Of course, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.